Hello guys, I'm Tom, and today we're going to explore what the Beast is. One of the most striking, memorable, and fascinating villains in modern horror and science fiction cinema is, without a doubt, the creature known as the Beast, also identified as the 24th personality of Kevin Wendell Crumb. Kevin is not an ordinary young man. His mind harbors a severe dissociative identity disorder, better known as multiple personality disorder, and the Beast represents the most dangerous, unsettling, and supernatural manifestation of his fragmented psyche. Its existence goes beyond mere violence. It is a phenomenon that combines physical terror with psychological fascination, capturing the audience from the very first moment. The Beast is not just a strong or intimidating being. It is an entity that defies the limits of the human, approaching the supernatural in terms of physical abilities and survival skills. Its first appearance occurs in Split, and its return in Glass cements it as one of the most memorable antagonists in the cinematic universe created by M. Night Shyamalan, leaving an indelible mark on the audience's memory. The presence of the Beast does not merely provoke fear. It elicits a mixture of awe and respect, sparking curiosity about its origin and motivations. Physically, the Beast is a terrifying display of strength and animalistic perfection. Its transformation is not only psychological, it is physical and visceral. The 24th personality grants Kevin superhuman strength, extreme speed, prodigious agility, and endurance that defies any human expectation. It can withstand close-range shotgun blasts without faltering, move rapidly over vertical surfaces, and even travel in a quadrupedal stance like an instinctive predator. Every movement, every gesture, communicates a clear message. This is not an ordinary human being, but something that transcends the limits of biology. But the Beast is not just muscle and brutality. Its motivation makes it even more complex and unsettling. It seeks to purify the world of the impure, those who have never experienced the pain or tragedy that marked its life. This combination of physical monstrosity and emotional trauma creates a disturbing effect. Although its actions are horrific, the Beast is, in essence, a consequence of profound suffering. This forces the audience to question the line between monster and victim, generating a peculiar empathy even in the face of extreme horror. To fully understand the Beast, we must first know its host, Kevin Wendell Crumb. His life is marked by an extreme case of dissociative identity disorder, with 23 distinct personalities coexisting in his mind. Some are benign, others dangerous and destructive. Kevin, at his core, does not seek to cause harm on his own, but many of these personalities take control of his body for purposes that are often violent or morally ambiguous. His childhood was fertile ground for this mental fracture. After his father's death in the East Rail 177 train accident, he was placed in the care of an abusive mother, marked by obsessive-compulsive tendencies, which planted seeds of trauma and fear that would later sprout into his multiple identities. A crucial event in Kevin's life occurred during his work at the Philadelphia Zoo, where two young women humiliated him with a prank involving inappropriate physical contact. This incident not only triggered anger and resentment, but also activated Dennis, one of his most obsessive and dangerous personalities, with sexual tendencies and rigid control over certain aspects of reality. Dennis, along with other identities, directly contributed to the creation of the Beast, combining trauma, obsession, and the influence of the animal nature surrounding Kevin at work. The Beast, the 24th personality, represents the pinnacle of Kevin's evolution. Beyond the other identities, it embodies the deadliest and most terrifying aspects of his psyche. Its behavior is wild but calculated. Its obsession with the human flesh of the impure turns it into an intelligent predator, capable of anticipating the movements and strategies of its victims. It is not simply a monster acting on instinct. There is method and purpose behind every attack, a distorted sense of justice and purification that makes it even more unsettling. Among its abilities are colossal strength, capable of bending metal bars and tearing human bodies apart with its hands, superhuman speed and agility, moving with feline precision, extreme endurance, allowing it to cover long distances without fatigue, and bestial mobility, moving in a quadrupedal stance to enhance effectiveness. Every appearance of the beast on screen is a spectacle of physical horror and narrative tension, where terror arises not only from immediate threat, but from the constant sense of facing something that defies human nature. The beast is not simply a monster. It is a force of nature in all its magnitude, an entity that breaks the boundaries of human biology and redefines what we understand as danger and survival. Among its most impressive and terrifying abilities is its capacity to climb any vertical surface effortlessly, as if gravity and the laws of physics were mere insignificant obstacles. Walls, columns, ceilings, beams, and even unstable structures become its hunting grounds, and its movement across them is fluid, fast, and extraordinarily precise, allowing it to traverse any environment with near supernatural efficiency, reaching strategic positions where humans could never follow. This ability does not merely fascinate, it terrifies, because the beast can appear suddenly where you least expect it, defying logic and your sense of safety. Every contact the beast makes with a surface is almost ritualistic. Its body forms an extraordinary connection with the environment, capable of supporting its full weight even when hanging upside down or inverted, swinging like an instinctive predator. But the true nightmare does not lie solely in its mobility, but in its physical invulnerability. When Kevin transforms into the beast, his body ceases to be human. Its muscles, organs, and tissues gain superhuman resilience, capable of withstanding blows, gunshots, stabbings, and injuries that would destroy any ordinary human. This ability allows it to survive even close-range shotgun blasts or knife attacks, which shatter on contact without leaving a mark, demonstrating that the beast possesses the toughness of a rhinoceros and the strength of a supreme predator. Even common illnesses, viruses, or infections that would affect any human would likely have no effect on it, reinforcing its status as an almost indestructible creature. A perfect example of its power occurs when Kezi shoots it at point-blank range, and the beast, confident, explains with a mix of pride and superiority that it is no longer human and that nothing can harm it. Later, when the psychiatrist attempts to stab it, the weapon breaks on impact, demonstrating that the beast is not only strong, but that its body functions as an impenetrable shield, the result of a physical transformation that combines genetics, trauma, and a fragmented psyche. The awakening of the beast does not happen randomly. It is a ritualistic process, executed with precision by Dennis. First, he goes to the train station, buys flowers, and then enters a car where the transformation occurs. This ritual is not symbolic. It represents the release of Kevin's deadliest personality, a channel where the pain, anger, and repressed violence of his childhood materialize physically. During this metamorphosis, his body undergoes radical changes. Muscles harden, veins become pronounced, his posture becomes dominant, and his presence radiates an aura of imminent danger, as if every fiber of his being had absorbed centuries of human and animal trauma. The flowers left in the car serve a dual purpose. On one hand, they symbolize that when the beast emerges, Kevin and his other personalities temporarily lose control, releasing the most lethal and pure aspect of his psyche. On the other hand, they function as a tribute to his father, whose death in the East Rail 177 train accident left an indelible mark on his life. Thus, the beast is not only a manifestation of physical power, but also an embodiment of the pain, loss, and tragedy that defined Kevin's existence. Dennis and Kevin's other personalities regard the beast almost as a deity. They admire it, venerate it, and trust that it can accomplish extraordinary feats comparable to those of a superhero or supervillain. They describe it as a gigantic creature, nearly 2.7 meters tall, with superhuman strength and resilient skin, capable of climbing walls and ceilings with the dexterity of a predatory feline. Its diet includes humans, but not indiscriminately. The beast selects its prey according to its own code, seeking to purify the world of the impure, those who have never experienced profound suffering. However, it recognizes and respects individuals like Kiyoshi, understanding that those broken by life possess a type of evolution that makes them, in a certain sense, superior. Despite its near-absolute power, the beast is not invincible. Strategic weaknesses can be exploited. Saying Kevin Wendell Crumb's full name can grant Kevin temporary control over his body, although the beast usually regains it quickly. Additionally, intense lights or flashes can allow another personality to take over, temporarily displacing it. While this situation persists, the creature loses strength and speed because without control of the body, it reverts to being simply human, which constitutes one of its most significant vulnerabilities. A fascinating detail in the story of Split is that the two young women kidnapped by Dennis, Claire and Marcia, were not chosen at random. Their selection has deep roots in Kevin Wendell Crumb's life. They are the same girls who, years earlier, played the prank that humiliated him at the Philadelphia Zoo. This detail reveals something crucial about the nature of Dennis and the Beast. The victims are not simply random targets. In Kevin's fragmented logic, they represent a necessary sacrifice for the manifestation of the Beast. Dennis does not capture them for personal pleasure or superficial revenge. He considers them essential for the well-being of all of Kevin's personalities and, in a distorted and dark sense, for the balance of a world that the Beast believes must be purified. It is a macabre act, yet it makes sense within Kevin's psyche, where every decision intertwines with trauma, obsession, and survival. The film also presents an absolutely captivating concept. The human mind can induce impossible physical changes in the body, pushing an individual's abilities beyond what science considers feasible. Dr. Fletcher, a specialist in dissociative disorders, attempts to demonstrate this to her colleagues by exploring how certain individuals might manifest extraordinary abilities solely through the power of their mind. Her studies suggest that intense belief in one's own transformation could trigger physical phenomena that border on the supernatural. However, this research is never completed. The Beast ends the doctor's life before she can test her theories. This fact reinforces a central message of the film. When the mind believes strongly enough in its own power, human limits can be surpassed, blurring the line between possible and impossible. The connection between Split and Unbreakable allows this concept to be explored even further. Kevin's powers develop in a manner similar to David Dunn's. Both manifested superhuman abilities thanks to a firm belief in their capacity to surpass normal limits. If Unbreakable can be considered the origin story of a superhero, then Split functions as the genesis of a supervillain, an idea that Glass ultimately confirms. This duality, hero versus villain, light versus darkness, reflects how trauma, life experiences, and self-perception can shape not only the mind, but also the physical reality that each individual can achieve. A key event in Kevin's life is the death of his father, Clarence Wendell Crumb, in the East Rail 177 train accident, an event indirectly caused by Elijah Price, Mr. Glass. This tragic incident profoundly marked Kevin and becomes the catalyst for the birth of the Beast, while simultaneously allowing David Dunn to survive and discover his own superhuman abilities. Tragedy, therefore, functions as a spark of transformation for both heroes and villains. Loss, pain, and injustice become driving forces that redefine the existence of the protagonists and push them to transcend human limitations. The emergence of the beast also creates an internal conflict among Kevin's personalities, known as the Horde. Most of these identities ultimately align with the beast, accepting its vision of purification and obeying its orders. This group executes a systematic plan to eliminate those considered impure, carrying out calculated and ritualistic murders that reinforce the idea that the beast is both predator and moral judge within its own universe. Following the events of Split, it is revealed that the beast killed and devoured a group of girls, consolidating its lethal character and demonstrating that once activated, there is no turning back for this creature. In Glass, the beast escalates its plan to an even more chilling level, kidnapping a group of cheerleaders with the intent of determining who is impure and consuming them, believing that each victim strengthens its existence and connection to Kevin's other personalities. However, its plan is thwarted by David Dunn, who acts as a vigilante and protector, seeking the young women to prevent them from becoming victims. The confrontation between David and Kevin in his beast form is titanic. The beast's superhuman strength and speed clash with David's relentless endurance, producing a battle where every strike, maneuver, and decision reflects both physical power and psychological strategy. After a devastating confrontation that ends with a fall from a factory window, both are captured by the organization known as the Clover, dedicated to neutralizing individuals with extraordinary abilities. Dr. Staple uses a special device that allows Kevin to temporarily regain control of his body, forcing the beast to surrender during its encounter with David. This moment demonstrates that, although the beast appears invincible, human intervention and advanced technology can balance the scales, at least temporarily. Later, Kevin is transferred to a psychiatric hospital where Elijah Price is also held. There, the beast breaks free again, killing several police officers and seriously injuring Price upon discovering his indirect involvement in his father's death. The confrontation between David and the beast reaches its climax. Attempts at drowning, hand-to-hand combat, and survival strategies show that although the beast is terrifyingly lethal, it is not invincible. Each sequence reinforces the idea that the beast combines brute strength with predatory instinct, and that its power derives both from its superhuman physiology and the cohesion of the personalities that sustain it. In the saga's climax, during the confrontation at Osaka Tower, Casey, one of Kevin's original victims, speaks his full name, causing Kevin to regain control of his body. This allows the Clover organization to neutralize the beast and weaken its power. Finally, Kevin dies in Casey's arms, bringing a tragic and definitive end to the story of the beast and the horde that supported it. His death, though inevitable, leaves an ambiguous impression. The beast disappears, but the legacy of its terror and the tragedies that fueled it remains indelibly in the viewer's mind. Despite its ending, the saga leaves a lasting legacy. The events involving Kevin, David, and Elijah are documented and disseminated, proving to the world that beings with extraordinary abilities exist beyond what humanity considers possible. Mr. Glass's vision comes to fruition. The line between heroes and villains is thin, and true power resides in the human mind, capable of shaping reality and defying the laws of nature for better or worse. Split and Glass do not merely tell stories of horror and action. They explore the fragility and power of the psyche, showing that the line between monster and human, between hero and villain, can be as thin as an individual's perception of themselves.